is being recorded. So
All right.
I believe that we still need a secretary because legally we are still required to take notes,
Yes,
Yeah.
we
have minutes. Is there anybody who is willing to be secretary? Does anybody feel like taking on that onerous, thankless job? Boy, that's a loud, everybody don't get up at once. Well,
Since Rebecca, you're the one.
nope. Mm-mm.
yeah. Well, I mean, since we have no one else willing to do it, I guess I can do it if we have no one else that's willing to do it.
I second that.
I mean, I don't, unless somebody else is willing to.
I was a horrible, horrible, horrible secretary. I was behind in the minutes. I was awful at posting. It was terrible. I was horrific.
Well, I mean, I am more than willing to help you out with it. If you want to take the secretary, since you have some experience, I am willing to help you out with however you need to be helped.
All right, I'm willing to do it, but
Okay.
I need help.
Thank you.
I am willing to help you. You point me in a direction and I'll drive the dog team that way.
Okay, all right.
Rebecca, if you want to also just show me, then next time I can step up to the plate as well.
Well, then why don't we I can't make it because it's for me, but if somebody could make a motion that I will be secretary for this meeting and we will determine a long-term secretary at the next meeting, that would be spectacular.
I make a motion that Rebecca Walsh is the temporary secretary for the May 25th Finance Committee meeting.
I second.
Second.
Did you say May 22nd?
25th, rather, excuse me.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so no second, we're just gonna say yes, you
No,
are.
I second.
It was seconded.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Rebecca.
No problem. So this raises the uncomfortable question of chair. And I know, Kevin, you have been chair for a long time.
Too
And
long.
so I do not want this to come off as censor or anything else, but usually there are term limits so that there is changeover and so that how would you feel about not being chair?
I was already anticipating this, and that's perfectly fine. You're right, I've been a chair for a long time. And I've been told I did a real crappy job over the last year, so don't.
I am not, no, I am not saying that. No, I am not saying that. And in my last stint on finance committee, we rotated. And we did it just because there are different personalities and different things get brought to the fore. And it's not about whether you did a good job or did not do a
Oh,
good
no. No, hey, look, the last year was horrendous. When years passed, nobody wanted this position, so I ended up having to stay on because nobody else wanted it.
Yep.
Believe me.
I remember that you encountered me in CVS and I was like, I'm getting off. I'm not going to do this anymore. So I understand.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you bumped into me in CVS like 15 years ago when I was getting off finance committee. And I said, you should join.
I don't remember that.
That's all right. I'm forgettable.
All right, so go ahead.
Hardly.
Who would you like to see chair?
Does
I would like to
anybody-
give it a go. I would like to give chair a go.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. I make a motion that Eldon Gerhardt becomes chair of this current finance committee until the dissolution of this committee following the upcoming finance committee election.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Congratulations.
Right?
You got the keys to the castle.
Well, I'm not sure that's a blessing.
You'll love it, trust me. Go ahead, it's all yours.
Okay, so we need to do a vice chair, is that correct?
We could. I mean, unless you don't plan on being around, I guess, when there's meetings or whatever, and
I do, yeah.
then I guess it would probably fall to the secretary, I think,
Mhm.
as far as in the chain of command, sort of.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't plan on not being at any meetings, barring any unforeseen circumstance. Okay, so I guess we're done with that. So let's see, where's my agenda? Okay. So agenda 3, discuss and possibly adopt meeting guidelines. Okay, I know there was some questions as to exactly what this means, but until we got to the meeting, we couldn't really discuss specifics. Basically, it's just going to be the rules and guidelines we're going to set up for our meetings to have order and not have chaos, and to control how the temperature of the meetings are between ourselves and the public and with the public. Has anybody thought of any guidelines they would like to have put forward?
So may I speak? Oh, go ahead. Rebecca had her hand up.
Okay. Oh, wait. Didn't we have somebody with their hand up before?
Yes, we did. We had Eric.
Edward Jack.
Yes, Mr. Jack. I'm sorry. Your meeting.
I don't see him on
He's,
here. Oh,
he's
there he
there.
is.
He's there.
Hi, it's actually Angela, the town clerk.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't want to go rehash stuff that was coming up earlier, but to answer a couple of Kevin's questions, the warrant article actually was proposed by Nancy herself for the change.
On the terms,
I'm sorry?
on which part of the warrant article?
The article that the change from appointed to elected finance committee members.
Okay,
That was, and she was thinking about, I think she spoke about it at the meeting briefly, that she's been thinking about it for years. And this year was the year that she put it in an article.
okay, what about the other half?
Other half of what?
The other half about dissolving all of the bylaws.
You mean dissolving the bylaws. They had to change the bylaws to meet that new, to meet the fact that they're elected, positions are elected and not appointed.
Okay. So in order to go from an appointed position to just so I understand, so to go from an appointed position to an elected position, if the bylaws are all written towards the appointed position, in order to go over, you've got to basically like erase what's there and then come back with new.
Yes, I mean, if they
I'm asking, Angela, I'm asking the question. I don't know this. That's why I'm asking.
my understanding is that the article rewrote the section, that article within the bylaws because of the change from appointed to elected. Things had to be written differently because of that.
Okay.
No, I think, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, all right, I mean, if that's it, all right, thanks. I appreciate the clarification.
Okay. Well, let's move back to agenda item 3, to discuss and possibly adopt meeting guidelines. You were saying that you had an idea there, Kevin, or you wanted to put something forward to see?
Well, no, I was gonna say something, but Rebecca had her hand raised.
No, go ahead. I can say it after.
Oh, no, well, so the only thing with the, I guess, a couple of months back when Mr. McCallum was on the Board of Selectmen, this sort of came up during a meeting, and you know, it was basically said, you know, you got the First Amendment rights, and it was somewhere along the lines of the town could get sued. You know, I mean, you can't stop anybody from saying what's on their mind, right? I mean, that's basically the law. I mean, if you look around, what's,
Not necessarily.
sure,
I mean, you can't have people saying cuss words in a daycare because they're going to be asked to leave. And if they don't leave, then they're going to be escorted by police. You know,
well, then,
the First Amendment does give you certain rights to speak, but it will not allow you to harm, harass, intimidate, or bully, or defame or slander anyone else. Just because you have the right to say it does not mean that you get to. You can say it wherever you want, but as we're a committee, we determine the platform. We're not saying that person can't say that. We're saying we're not allowing you to say that here. That is the difference. We are not silencing them from speaking their mind or saying their thing. We're saying here, whatever guidelines we adopt are what you must follow to be here. That's all that is. We're not stopping anyone's ability to speak. You know, they can go to work, you know, downtown, they can get a bullhorn, they can make phone calls, they can say whatever they want. But we get to set the format for how these meetings are run, how we adopt, how we accept input, who we will allow to speak, and at what point it becomes a point where they aren't allowed to speak anymore. You understand
well,
what I'm saying?
yeah, I get what you're saying, and that last part kind of like, you know, is where I'm going. I mean, you will allow someone to speak if you so desire, is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's what it says in the state guidelines too. For any meeting in the state of Massachusetts, you don't have to take questions. You do not have to. And you also do not have to tolerate abusive language or incorrect format. Like if somebody wants to discuss something that we're talking about in agenda item 6, but they want to talk about it while we're doing agenda item 2, I don't think they should do that. They should wait till agenda item 6. They also cannot be hostile and abusive or anything like that, or, you know, that doesn't have to be allowed. You don't have to allow people to be that way. Okay. And if it's not, doesn't have any relevance to what the discussion is, you don't have to allow that either. I mean, you can't have somebody come on here and talk about that they don't like this ABC show that they're watching right now, you know, because that's not appropriate to this meeting. That's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to say that these people can't speak or this person can't talk about on this topic. As long as it's within the guidelines that we adopt, they can feel free to speak their mind as much as they want within professional reasons. And that's all these guidelines are for, are to give an idea to people to know the expected behavior and how these meetings will be run. And that's all it is. It's a guideline to show people how to behave and how the meetings will be run.
Okay. Facebook should, or those websites, the Facebook pages, they should really follow those guidelines.
Yeah. That's their business. They can, you know, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't do that stuff. All right, so go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Chairman.
Did you have something you wanted to put up, Rebecca?
I did. So I saw the agenda and I went on a little Amazon craze.
Oh,
I got Robert's Rules in Action, Robert's Rules in Brief, and I got a little cool, small Robert's Rules fold out.
oh yeah, that's real tiny.
So I actually made a motion, but usually I would say it first and then we would discuss, at least if we're going by Robert's Rules, but we're not yet. Basically, it's what I think most committees have adopted is the Robert's Rules of Order. It lays out how to make a motion, how to then hold a discussion, who gets precedent when speaking. It sets up how you can set lengths of time if you are worried that something is going to go too long. It tries to ensure fair debate. So if one person speaks in favor of something, it says that you should select somebody who is going to speak against it after that, and back and forth. It suggests that people don't get to speak more than twice. It also lays out how you can suspend those rules for a discussion topic if it is more expedient to not have to follow such strict rules. But it seems like that would be a very simple, clear way of having conversations that are meaningful, that allow everybody to share what their opinion is, where they are coming from, keeps us on target, and still gets the work done.
I think that's very well presented, and it does make sense. Yes, I agree with you. I'm not up on Robert's rules, so I'll have to hit Amazon as well. But no, I think something like that would be very beneficial, so that we knew exactly how we were going to do things, how things would be done. And even the public, you know, if they wondered, they could look up Robert's rules as well, and then they would know what to expect. And if you put it into a motion,
So
unless someone else has any other discussion, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So unless
no worries.
someone else has any other discussion about that. Anyone?
So my
Okay.
only other discussion is I don't know who has read them. I don't know if we want to table that and allow people the opportunity to look it up before adopting it, but I do have a motion ready to go.
I think that waiting makes sense.
I'd like to read them.
Yeah.
I think because later on in the meeting, I've got some stuff to put out. So yeah, I think tabling it till we all get a chance to look at the rules and regulation, or the rules. I think that would be a great idea.
Okay. And I am happy to put these in my entryway, and anybody is welcome to come and swing by so that we don't all have to go Amazon crazy.
Well, I got to have it in my hand or else I'll just get lost. So, we'll get on it. I'll get on Amazon and I'll get that little spreadsheet. So during meetings, you just see me behind some flip thing that you'll know what's going on. All right. So I guess then we can table that for a later meeting, I guess, until we've all had a chance to review those rules, and we'll come back and we'll readdress it. Unless anybody else has any other input as far as discuss and possibly adopt meeting guidelines. Do you have anything, Kevin?
Nope.
Okay. How about you, Ms. McCray?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. All right. So agenda item 4, items not anticipated by the committee. Okay, I do have one that I was informed of today at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The highway department, they're looking to do a year-end transfer from the police department to the sum of around $20,000 to pay for a repeater and antenna. The Chief Alden is all behind it. He said he's got some extra money that he is more than willing to move into this. He brought it to my attention because he says that it is very time sensitive that we get moving on it because of the material and stuff. So what I'm proposing is that, would it be okay if we had a meeting next Tuesday at the same time? And the chief can come in and he can talk to us directly, talk to us about what he's doing, how he's doing it, what it's for. Maybe he'll be able to get someone else to come in. I'm not sure. But would we be okay with having another meeting next Tuesday at 7:30 addressing this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be all right. So
Okay.
if I may ask, so I mean, I see that the highway superintendent's on. I'm not gonna request that he speak or anything, but he wants, the police chief is willing to do a year-end transfer and transfer funds to the highway department's line? Is that my understanding?
Yeah, under their communications line, to my understanding, to help pay for their repeater and antenna that has gone bad. So they need a new one. And he mentioned that there is possibly a grant coming in next fiscal year concerning all of the communications and stuff of Ashby. But he needs to get in front of this now so that he can get it done. And since he had a little extra money, he wanted to see if he could do a reserve fund transfer to the highway department under their communications line to help pay for this. To my understanding, I may be incorrect, but I believe that's what I pulled away from the discussion with the chief.
Well, you mean not a reserve fund, but a year end?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, a year-end transfer, not a reserve fund. I'm sorry. I misspoke. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Nope, just want to keep it straight.
But yes, it would be a year-end transfer. Yes, and the chief would be more than willing to come on next Tuesday at 7:30 and talk to us about it and give us the specifics and address any questions we may have about it.
Is it possible to do it on a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Monday, or a Friday? Tuesday is the only night that my soon-to-be daughter-in-law is free for family dinner, and I'm giving up 2 of them a month to do this,
Okay.
which I'm okay with, but I wouldn't like to give up 3/4 of them.
No, I understand completely. I completely understand. What days did you say you would be available for?
Any day but Tuesday.
Okay,
Are you just for this, just for like the near future, or you're looking to change?
Just for this additional
Well-
one that we are adding. I am sticking,
Yeah.
I'm missing 50%. I just don't want to miss 3/4.
yeah, I understand that. Would Monday be a problem for anybody? Would there be any conflicts for a Monday meeting at 7:30?
I am double
That's
checking.
Memorial Day.
Oh, that's right, it's Memorial Day.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I really want to do it how about a Thursday? Because I don't want to interrupt the selectmen. How about a
It's
Thursday?
okay. Let's
Well,
just stick Tuesday and I will work it out on my end.
No. Or we could do it at an earlier time.
The selectmen are meeting tomorrow night,
Oh,
right?
yeah, so they wouldn't have a meeting next Wednesday, would they?
No,
It's
they
every
would
2
not.
weeks.
They would not. It's every 2
Okay.
weeks.
Okay, so would Wednesday work for you then?
Yes, very much so.
How about everybody else? Would Wednesday work for you at 7:30?
That's the second?
Yes, ma'am. That's the
Yeah.
second.
I can make it work.
Okay. How about you, Kevin?
Wait a minute. What day are we? We're on the 20. Yeah, okay, the second.
It would be the
Yeah.
2nd of June.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I will get an agenda to, I guess that would go. I guess I would go to you, to Rebecca. I guess this is who I need to send the agenda to. Is there anything else that anybody would like to address possibly next Wednesday? Any topics anyone wants addressed or anything that they would like added to the agenda?
Not off the top of my head myself.
Okay.
No.
All right. So I guess it'll be a relatively short meeting then. It should be a relatively short meeting.
Well, Chief Alden is speaking, so.
Well, yes. That is true. He is a fountain of information.
Everybody on the screen before I just said that.
He is a fountain of information and he likes to dispense it. I will say that about him.
Nope. He's a professional, and he has got, that man has got all of his ducks in a row.
Oh, yes,
So,
yes.
perfect.
Okay, okay, anybody else have any unanticipated business?
Nope.
Okay. How about you, Ms. Cray?
Nope, I have nothing.
Okay. And you, Rebecca?
Nope, I am all good.
Okay. All right. Let's see, what's it? Any questions out there from the public, or at this point we can move to questions and comments? Okay. I'm not sure who the first one was, but it looks like Gary has a question.
Not a question, just a comment. I would encourage Rebecca's recommendation of adopting Robert's rules. It makes meetings work much better.
Yes. I believe you are very correct, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, and let's see. Okay, Angie Garhart.
I have a question just regarding the last 10 meetings of the previous finance committee. There are no minutes from the last 10 meetings. And my understanding is that the former secretary resigned without providing minutes for 10 meetings. And there's recordings, there were video recordings as well. I'm just wondering, I don't expect there to be a solution tonight, but I just wanted to mention it to see if there's any way, anything that can be done to get those meetings available. You know, these are critical for the town. When I was trying to learn about what was happening with the public safety building, I read back through all of the minutes of all of the meetings that had been held for the public safety building from all the committees for, you know, the members of the committees for years back. And I learned a lot. Not having those minutes is not only is it a violation of the state law, but it's also just a real detriment to the town. And so I just wanted to raise it to you to see if there's anything that can be done, or you know, anything that can be looked into to see what can be done. I know we have, you know, the two former members of that particular committee, and maybe just wanted to bring it up to you.
Okay, thank you. I don't, as far as the former members of the finance committee, I don't know if me reaching out to Patrick would be favorable. Perhaps Kevin could. I don't, would you be willing to do that, Kevin? Reach out to him and see if maybe he can get some of those sent in and submitted to the town?
I have no comment on this whatsoever.
Okay. Actually, other than that, I mean, we can't sit here and waterboard him to get the minutes out of him. So really, I don't see where we or the town have a much of a position to push it. If it does not happen in a what you consider a timely manner, I guess you would have to address that with the AG, because they are the ones that handle minutes
Yeah,
at meetings. So you'd have to go to the AG to have them.
I believe the law is within 3 meetings or 30 days. And so here we are, we haven't had any minutes since February. And the minutes that are there were not voted on by the committee. They were just sent in by the secretary. So it's been well over 3 months since we've received any information about, you know, and those meetings included critical votes that involved, you know, year-end reserve funds transfers and budget, forming the budget for the end of the year, and that kind of stuff that the finance committee is critical for. So it's important, I think, that we have them.
I agree. Minutes are very important. They allow the town to be able to look back over previous years to see what was done and why it was done, or how it was done. I mean, I will send an email to Patrick. I do not know how favorable it would be received, but I can send one to him. Other than that, I guess maybe keep in touch with Ms. Cantor and to see if he does submit them. And if he doesn't, really your only recourse to my knowledge would be the Attorney General.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's see if there are any other questions. Okay, I don't see any other questions. So if we would, if someone would like to make the motion, we could make it a short evening.
I motion that we adjourn at 8:21 PM.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, everyone, we will see you on Wednesday, the 2nd of June at 7:30 PM. And if you have anything along the way that you would like added to the agenda, send me an email and we'll see if we can get it thrown on the agenda. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Good
All
night,
right,
everyone.
have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.